has taken over. Let's go. It's Ferrall. Coast to coast. Steaks, chicks, stacks. You and I are going to make a lot of money. It's Ferrall. Coast to coast. It's Ferrall on a bench, coast to coast, in the biggest way possible, hanging out. The bad attitude. We are live in New York City, the Big Apple. Ooh. People dressed in plastic bags, directing traffic, some kind of fashion shake it up, should be, along with the greatest of all time, my man. Mike Blewett is here today, in for Carver High, styling, coming off a horrific Steeler loss. We'll get into that later. Along with Mafi and the rundown on a thirsty Thursday post-Christmas, a double shot with Morency from Vancouver, plus my good friend Kurt Heelan of NBC Sports talking NBA rack. I actually wanted to gouge my eyes out yesterday watching the NBA. 5 games. Are you kidding me? You talk about overdose. And then Adam Kaplan, a double shot in the final hour, along with the infamous bust a cap in yo ass. We'll get that all in today. So I want to start with this. They have a bowl game going on right now, the Game Above Sports Bowl at Ford Field in Detroit, Rock City. Mike, good to see you coming off of Christmas. The Pitt Panthers are leading by 12-6. They were laying 7. I have, somebody that I do a lot of betting with. He bet on Toledo today +7. How do you feel about this game at 12-6? This disaster on my TV right now.
So good to see you, by the way. Merry Christmas and happy holidays to everybody out there. I'm fired up to be with you for a few hours. So I think what's gotten really tricky, obviously, especially over the last few years with these bowl games, is we used to be able to confidently bet underdogs in bowl games, take them money line and take a lot of points during bowl season because there was a strong trend towards underdogs winning outright and certainly covering in bowl games. Now you really have to follow game by game to see who's in and who's out of the lineup, who's in the portal, who's not in the portal, and it becomes very tricky. Toledo obviously had a very good season in the MAC, so a very willing opponent for Pitt today, who frankly fell apart at the end of the year. They were a ranked team. They were undefeated at one point. Starting quarterback got hurt, and Pitt's gotten run over in the last few games. Still a lot of talent on that team, but I would take the MAC opponent here. I just think long run in this game, I think they'll be a little tougher to the end.
Their top player, Desmond Reed, just got hurt. He has 77 yards in the game. The rest of the team has 60. It lets you know where they stand, at least offensively. They have the ball. They've been playing with a backup. You talked about their quarterback being injured. Narduzzi said, he plays like a starter, and I never believe anyone that says that. The reality is they are leading, and there's 9.5 left before the half. It's funny. You talk about the Pitt Panthers falling apart with all their problems late in the season. They remind me of the Steelers. Now, I want to tell you a story. All right? Are you ready for this? All right. So
I'm ready.
I have, as you know, season tickets to the Steelers.
Yes.
I go back to Pittsburgh frequently, and I have it all down to a science. I fly in. I stay at the Willie Penn, 5-star it. I got my guy, Reno down there, setting Ferrall up. I'm always staying, going to the games, and then I eat at fancy restaurants, the whole deal. Spend a lot of money. It's awful. So when the playoff tickets became available, of course I bought them. And they literally are like, it's $1,000 a seat for the game. And I got 2 seats, right? So I buy the tickets. I buy the flights. I get the rooms at the Willie. And then I'm ready to go on the 11th and 12th, right? The Steelers are going to have a home game, play at Pittsburgh, win the North, play at home, get at least one playoff game at home, got to go. Going to take my son. And as you know, they're not having a home playoff game. That is not happening on any certain term or any way you look at it. There is no way in hell that the Cleveland Browns are beating the Ravens next Sunday. That's not happening. And the Steelers are playing the Bengals on the 5th, and I'm going to that game next Sunday. And I have my reservations if they can beat them because Joey Silk is on fire. Chase is on fire. The Steelers suck right now. They have fallen to pieces. So how about this? Tickets, flights, rooms, washed, all of it. You have to cancel that room within 5 days of getting it. You cannot cancel plane tickets. And I already bought the tickets. As you know, they take the money, the $2,000 they take and roll it into your season tickets for next year. They never give you your money back. So at this point, I'm already down like 3,200. And there's not a playoff game. Today I said to my son, I go, the Ottawa Senators are there on Saturday. Sunday, the Lightning are there. We could go watch the game in Pittsburgh, like party at a bar, because that's what everyone's going to be doing, watching it in a bar somewhere or at home in Pittsburgh. There's no game. So you got to watch on TV. I said, why don't we go anyway? I already paid for the tickets. I'll buy hockey tickets. You know what he said to me? Take someone else. That's what he said to me. he said, take someone else. He goes, I'm cool here. I'll see you later. I don't care about, I can watch the Penguins on TV. I can watch the Steelers on TV. And I'm not going to go to an airport, fly, stay in a hotel, because he's doing it the week before, and he doesn't want to do it 2 weeks in a row if there's no playoff game. He doesn't want to go. How depressing is this story?
Honestly, it was pretty bad before you said that your son didn't want to go, and it made it really depressing for the holidays. I hope everybody out there is having a much better holiday than Scott is, based on what we were talking about a few minutes ago. And today, I didn't know your son also wanted to ditch you during Steelers playoff time because, yes, there's no home game, but you can watch the game together and go to a hockey game along with it.
2 days in a row, and I buy really good seats. But here's the deal. As you know, I'm bummed out because my mother-in-law is dying today. My wife's mother, who is an institution in my family, the most magnificent woman you ever met in your life. She's outlived 10 popes. And, I like to just mention it once in a while that she was in the IRA in Belfast. My cousin is Jerry Kelly. What could be worse? The devil himself. I didn't mean that, Jerry. I swear to God, my kneecaps are doing fantastic. If you could just, keep it above the waist, I'd be okay with you. Anyway, so she's in hospice, and they're going to, the morphine and Ativan drip is going to start at around 6 p.m. It is not good over here at the Ferrall Palatial. And she's my mother. My mother-in-law is my wife's best friend. And then she's become her pain in her ass later in life because she needs help every day of her life. So watching my wife just sink down to depths of hell with what's going on, and her sister's in hospice, 68 years old. Her sister's in hospice. They're both dying in hospice, and I'm over here, as you know, worried about the Steelers and my money that I'm losing, and my son blowing me off. Thank God that Blue has showed up today to support me and talk bad about the Steelers for upwards of 3 hours. I just wanted to say really quickly that the Knicks beat the Spurs and the Unicorn. The Sixers upset the Celtics. The T-Wolves beat the Mavs. The best thing that happened to me on Christmas Day was Luka, the whiny crybaby bitch that he is, hurt his calf, and he's going to be out for a month. Best thing that happened. I think it may be the best Christmas gift I ever got. Lakers beat the Dubs on a Reeves layup with 1 second left, and the Suns beat the Nuggets. They're dangling Beal, and the Heat say they're not trading. Riley says not trading Jimmy Buckets. And the Ravens had sex with the Texans. We got a coast to coast. Go with us.
So my team didn't win this weekend, but I still did with this app that's taking over the game. Sports Millions Pick'em lets you make quick and easy predictions. Pick your favorite players, go higher or lower, and you can still win big even if your team loses. Plus, the multiplier is insane. With just a few picks, you can win big money. So get on it. They've got a welcome bonus to help you start off your winning streak.
there's a better chance the Raiders might stumble into a win because of who they're playing over the next few weeks than the Giants, who I don't think will win.
I don't believe for 1 minute that they want to win a game. I do not believe that the New York Football Giants want to win a game at all, because it will cost them dearly. In fact, they will continue to suck for years to come if they screw this up.
Ferrall Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
The two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
Ka-ching!
Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results.
What?
How do you do this one? Oh, Donnie, you've got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
The sharpest football contest show in the land, the Las Vegas Football Contest Show, focuses on Circus Sports Million, Circus Survivor, and the Westgate Super Contest, handicapping the games and releasing our contest picks every week of the season. With two former Super Contest winners, Brady Cannon and James Salinas, a former NFL player, Mike Pritchard, and over $1 million in contest prize money won combined, the Las Vegas Football Contest Show will have you prepared this season like none other.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
You get Sports Rage every night at 10 East. It's the greatest show ever. And it's on every outlet that we have known to man. But we are so selfish on Coast to Coast that we demanded through management in hardcore negotiations. We said, we either get Morency for a double shot or we aren't going to continue doing the show. And then Morency agreed to do it with us, even though they opposed me. And we ended up winning in the end, and we got a double shot with Morency. How great is that? Now, Morency's been through all of it like I have. Respectfully, Morency, I lost my mother like you did. I lost my father. I have a sister, and she thinks I'm the devil. When I worked for Howard Stern, she said, "You're the devil. You're Satan. You're evil. You're unholy. I hate you." And that pretty much summed it up for me at that point of where I stood with her. So, like, later in life, as she saw me pay for everything, all the funerals, all the things that needed to be done, I think she started liking me a little bit better. But I am going through it today, Morency. My mother-in-law is dying today, my wife's mother, and her sister's in hospice as well, both at the same time dying. It's insanity. And you've been through it. You know what it's like. It sucks. And I told Blue that, Mike Blewett's doing the show with me today. I said, Blue, listen, there's certain things that is awful. The death is awful. I hate it. It's awful. I can't stand it. It's heinous. But if someone's suffering, I think they're better off being at peace. And I also put the Steelers' losses above this problem that I'm having today at my house due to the way they've been playing the last 3 weeks, Morency. I cannot handle the Steelers falling to pieces. I can handle the passing of my great mother-in-law because she deserves to be in a higher place right now, particularly after years of blowing things up in Ireland with the IRA.
Well, I'll tell you what, you and I talked about, and our condolences. And listen, the holidays can be fun. They can be tough for some people, but it's one of the things that I've always taken pride in, Scott, is being there for people. We're going to be on tonight. You're on today. We're going to be on tonight during the football games, breaking it down. And as far as the Steelers are concerned, well, I guess they're just broken down right now. Think about it, though. Like all the rage about like the college football playoff games that were blowouts and stuff. Like, there's no guarantees in life, people. The games are going to be close, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Doesn't matter what league it is. There's no guarantees. But, wow, I really didn't see that coming. I didn't see it coming in either game. Like, literally, I thought Pittsburgh would play with KC. All right, maybe lose, but I thought it would be a competitive game. And, like, come on, the Houston Texans getting booed off the field, I also didn't see coming. I got to tell you, Scott, no complaints, because as they say, I guess we have our health. But between those two football games, and I had a Golden State Warrior play. They lose by 2. It was one of those days. Nothing but coal, Scott, for me. Like, my account took a beating on Christmas Day yesterday.
Yeah.
There was no like, oh, it's Christmas. You know, I'm gonna get lucky. You know, we had a great time Christmas Eve. That bowl game was really fun, the Hawaii Bowl. But man, we got nothing but coal yesterday. We got action on this bowl game right now. It looks like Toledo just scored. I got Toledo plus the points and the over.
Oh, yeah. All right. So I took Toledo as well with the 7, but I'm kind of, rooting for Pitt. As a kid, I used to go watch Dan Marino play at Pitt and Tony Dorsett and Hugh Green. I've always kind of had a place in my heart for the Pitt Panthers, even though I'm a Canes fan and I went to Indiana. I have told you a million times, I went to Indiana, but I never went to one football game in 5 years because they suck so bad. I'm an Indiana basketball fanatic. But I will say this, I bet on the Chiefs all week on this show, and I bet on them in reality, and I laid 2.5, and I hit that bet. I lost the Texans taking the points, and then I was as bad as you in basketball, but I hit that late night game, the Suns game. I did hit that game. They were actually getting points, and I hit that game, so it's just bad. And as far as that bowl game, I wanted to mention this to you. So did you see my tweets like in the middle of the game? So I was like, I got the under, thank God, in the Hawaii Bowl. And then the next thing you know, it went to overtime. Some guy wrote, we'll see how much you got that under now, Romeo. And then 5 overtimes later, it was an over. You hit the over. I had the under. I lost that game too. So I've been bleeding since Christmas Eve. I did tell Blue the story that I went to a restaurant instead of the hospital. I said, I got a 6-top at a fancy restaurant. I said, listen, I'm going to go eat like $1,000 worth of food, and then I'll come see your mom after dinner. And I'll bring you some dinner.
Very nice of you.
Thanks. She didn't go to dinner. I took the kids anyway and their cousin. And I said, listen, we under these circumstances, we need to eat well. I think we're under a tremendous strain here.
Yeah,
we need to eat
you got to
well.
keep your strength up.
You know what I mean? And then how about I go to this place, my favorite restaurant, $1,000. I said to the guy at the bar, I go, can you turn the game on? He goes, Ferrall, no, it's Christmas Eve. There'll be no TVs on at the bar. I go, I sit in the bar to watch the game, and you're not going to turn the game on.
That's not acceptable.
He goes, no. And then when I left, he goes, sorry, Ferrall, them's the rules. And I was like, you suck, Bill. You suck.
I went out on Saturday night. I went out on a Saturday night for a mini dinner. It was nothing too formal or anything, but it was right when Ohio State and Tennessee game was starting. I was thinking, well, this isn't the best of times, but there's never really a good time, right? So I figured, there might be a TV or two in the place, but I bet you it's going to be on hockey. There's, of course, they're going to be showing hockey games. Lo and behold, I got there, and just by chance, there was a TV, like literally right in my direction. It had the football game on. I've been lucky too, Scott. Like I got that, that was what, Saturday, Sunday, whatever. I had a lot of luck. Like you said, I had the over the football game. It was a Festivus miracle, that bowl game that ends up going over the number. I had no business. Yesterday, the luck all ran out, bro. Christmas Day. That was just one after another. Like, dude, I had the Warriors parlayed with the Phoenix Suns. It was nice plus money because, like you said, Phoenix were getting points, and I took them on the money line. It was just one bad beat after another. I've lost like 5 NBA bets in a row, Scott, by either half a point, or like a shot.
How about the Warriors? They tied it on that shot by Curry, that deep bomb, and then with 1 second left, Reeves with a layup to win. Like nobody touched him, and he went in untouched, and he's white. What could be worse?
That's my Christmas. Merry Christmas, Morency. That's the way that was the.
Hillbilly Kobe with a white left-handed layup in front of a bunch of brothers. That's the ultimate facial.
After that happened, I stopped watching sports. I just watched Batman on TV.
After that happened, I started drinking.
As the candles flicker, A new tradition shines. 8 nights of Hanukkah, 8 nights of winning insights.
Like, they may come out slow, so you might be able to get a better number.
Wow, they're favored.
With SportsGrid, every night is another chance to win.
No pick sixes today, they cover. So let's crunch it up. Let's make it happen. Let's give you our favorite props.
Let your Hanukkah winnings brighten your celebrations. Happy Hanukkah from all of us at SportsGrid.
The two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
Ka-ching!
Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What?
How do you do this one? Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Right here with you on Pro Football Today on SportsGrid. Odds in motion, trying to see what lines have moved throughout the week.
Never felt more comfortable in this set than I do for this year. I'm ready. I'm just getting angry. The hot takes are going to be here all long.
You don't want them to go 13-0 and then lose the first round of the playoffs.
Red.
This is their last shot. They don't really have anywhere else to go yet.
Hot take.
By the time I hit, I guess what, Route 33 up here, that ticket's cashing.
Only on SportsGrid. In the heart of winter, when nights grow long, we come together under these lights. A team, united by purpose. Fans bound by passion. Each holding a small flicker of hope in their hands. At SportsGrid, we believe that even the darkest nights can't dim the unity we share. One team, one stadium, one shining moment. This holiday season, we shine brighter together. Happy Hanukkah from all of us at SportsGrid.
Has agreed with me that knowing my conundrum for the Steelers playoff weekend, that they will not be playing a home game. He thinks since I paid for everything already and the flights and the rooms, I should go anyway. Go to the Senator game Saturday, Sunday watch the Steelers in a raucous bar on Carson Street, and then go right over to PPG and watch them play the Lightning at 5 o'clock, and then go to a fancy dinner after that, and then fly home. He still thinks I should go, just like Blue. My son says he doesn't want to go. And Morency also has admitted to me just a moment ago that the Steelers are toast and falling to pieces.
Unfortunately, it seems to be the case right now. I don't know if they're toast and falling to pieces. We'll see. You know, we'll do they have something left? But they're not. They're obviously not winning the Super Bowl. You know, I did it last year, Scott, when the Buffalo Bills. You know, a couple of times a year it'll happen. I haven't done it this year, surprisingly enough. But you know, I'll watch a Bills game, the Bills will win or something, and I'll get, you know, after a few drinks, I'll get caught up in it. I'm like, man, I'm going to the conference championship game, man. I'm going. Like, I don't care if it's 3,000 miles. And I'll do it. Like, I buy the ticket and everything. But I hold off for the plane tickets. Because one good thing, when you buy the tickets, you're a season ticket holder, so you get screwed. They just carry it over, which that blows. Like, right? You're not even seeing any money back. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I'm buying a ticket. If the team doesn't make it, you get refunded, right? So, like, I bought a ticket for the potential conference championship game in Buffalo. I guess it was last year or the year before. And since it never happened, I got refunded for it. A lot of hotels you can book and reserve without paying. The flights are a little bit different. And then the bad thing is if you wait too long, you get screwed over and you pay a lot for the flight because flights are much cheaper in advance.
Right. So my buddy...
I would go, though, if I was you.
My buddy runs this
You go
place.
to the hockey games, and then you watch the Steelers game in a bar in Pittsburgh, right, with real Steeler fans.
Why not? So, but the hotel is a 5-star place, the Willie Penn, and they have some kind of policy where you have 5 days after you book it to get out of it. After the 5th day, you lose, and so it's already been beyond the 5 days. But my buddy runs the place, so I'm hoping that he's going to be cool enough to go. All right, Ferrall, I understand the bleeding, that you're going under. And what's happening to you. So hopefully, but I actually don't want to pull out. I want to go anyway and do exactly what I just said. Now, when you saw the Ravens win that game yesterday, 31-2, the Texans look worse than the Steelers. Now, I'm hearing that the Steelers are going to have to play the Texans in Houston. That's what I heard. I could be wrong. And then do you think the Ravens, all they have to do is beat the Browns to win the North next week? They're going to beat the Browns' ass. They're going to beat their ass.
Yeah, the Ravens, the Ravens are a dangerous team. We're going to see if they can do it in the playoffs, but eventually one of these years, they are, right? KC are obviously the team to beat. Buffalo, dangerous as hell, and now here come the Baltimore Ravens right now, peaking at the right time. Big thing with the Ravens, we all know, their secondary was getting carved up like a Christmas Day turkey, right, all season long. Only Jacksonville had a worse pass defense in the National Football League than the Ravens did, and it wasn't just numbers. Like, no, you really could throw the ball on these guys. They've really tightened it up with a vice grip right now, as we've seen, right? And they're the total package. I mean, you've got a ground game, you've got a vicious defense. Their vicious defensive line, their secondary has tightened things up. And, you have one of the most explosive quarterbacks in the history of the National Football League in Lamar Jackson, and a great coach that's won before. Dangerous football team, Scott. And, yes, as it is now, it would be the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Houston Texans. And the Texans fan base a little frustrated right now as well as they got booed off the field.
I mean, they look worse than the Steelers.
I think, the Texans all year have never really been in a groove. Even though they've won what, 9 games. They're lucky they were in the division that they were in. Right? Just point blank. They've had a ton of injuries, this team, and sort of like emotional type injuries too. Like, it's been one thing after another. Like, they really have been cursed on offense this year, but you got to fight through it. But they're not a legitimate Super Bowl threat either. Let's be real, Scott. It's Kansas City, Buffalo, and in Baltimore in the AFC. And the NFC, to me, is just like anything can happen in the NFC. Nothing would surprise me in the NFC.
So who do you like tonight with Seattle and the Bears at Soldier Field on Prime at 8:15? It's Seattle -4.5. I like Seattle. I think the Bears stink.
Yeah, I'd like to talk myself into why the Bears are to play and stuff. I think I might be able to get a 4. Did it move to 4.5 here? Yeah, you're right. I have 4.5 everywhere now. I just saw a 4 before. Bears have lost 9 in a row. Seahawks still control something. They don't control their own destiny, but they need to win this game to stay alive. I think they will. The Bears are that bad. The Bears are missing 12 players tonight. They're extremely decimated.
Even if they had the 12 players, they still suck. Have a good show tonight, Morency.
As the candles flicker, a new tradition shines. 8 nights of Hanukkah, 8 nights of winning insights.
They may come out slow, so you might be able to get a better number.
Wow, they're favored.
With SportsGrid, every night is another chance to win.
No pick sixes today, they cover.
So let's crunch it up. Let's make it happen. Let's give you our favorite props.
Let your Hanukkah winnings brighten your celebrations. Happy Hanukkah from all of us at SportsGrid.
Two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
Ka-ching!
Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What?
How do you do this once?
Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Right here with you on Pro Football Today on SportsGrid. Odds in motion, trying to see what lines have moved throughout the week.
Never felt more comfortable in the set than I do for this year. I'm ready. I'm just getting angry. The hot takes are going to be here all long.
You don't want them to go 13-0 and then lose the first round of the playoffs.
Red.
This is their last shot. They don't really have anywhere else to go yet.
Hot take.
By the time I hit, I guess what, Route 33 up here, that ticket's cashing.
Only on SportsGrid. In the heart of winter, when nights grow long, we come together under these lights. A team, united by purpose. Fans bound by passion. Each holding a small flicker of hope in their hands. At SportsGrid, we believe that even the darkest nights can't dim the unity we share. One team, one stadium, one shining moment. This holiday season, we shine brighter together. Happy Hanukkah from all of us at SportsGrid.
Hope everyone had a awesome Ferrallmas and happy Ferrallica as Ferrallica starts today. Very exciting. The 8 days of Ferrallica underway. My buddy went to Temple today, and that's probably why he wasn't playing basketball with me. I just thought it was unbelievable that he didn't show up to play ball. Now, I was going to play ball in the morning. Also, another divorce-inducing event if I go to play basketball in the morning when my mother-in-law is dying. I may have to refrain from playing basketball as well, but we will not stop talking basketball on SportsGrid because it's smarter to be on SportsGrid. And on C2C on a Thursday with my boy Blue. Mike Blewett. Hey, Mike, did you see the unicorn yesterday at the world's most famous, swatting 4 shots and dropping a 42 burger on the Knicks?
Amazing. First of all, you got to work out the stress somehow. So playing a little bit of hoop in the morning, even on the most dire of days, I wouldn't look at you sideways for doing that. As far as Victor Wembanyama is concerned, 42 and 18, the Knicks tend to, Madison Square Garden on Christmas Day tends to bring out the best in opposing players at times. Thankfully, the Knicks come away with the victory, but Wembanyama, a couple of nights after taking a huge dive and getting Drummond ejected in Philly, comes back with a legitimate performance and kept the Spurs in it. Obviously, that's a team that is building towards a brighter future, and he will be in the center of it. And I think some people are just really wondering at what point Wembanyama becomes the best player in the league.
I mean, there's some people that would argue he already is.
He's got the highest trajectory, probably, of any current player. Who's there? Jokic is the best player in the world, but Wembanyama's trajectory is up. And Jokic is the type of guy, we've debated it before. We all know how great he is. He could win a 4th MVP this season, but he also intimates that, basketball isn't my favorite thing. I like to hang out, play with horses, watch my horses, bet on horses, and I'm going to retire in Serbia. So that could happen as soon as this summer, and it wouldn't surprise any of us. There's a lot of money on the table, so we'll see how much he likes that more than he likes horses in the years ahead.
Honestly, though, you got to be kidding me that guy would walk away now.
Not now. Scott, he's a different dude. He just is. There's no way we can get inside most of these players' head, and especially not a Serbian guy who everybody's seen the pictures of him as a teenager. People just thought he was sort of a tall, sloppy basketball player. He's become the most skilled, best basketball player in the world, dropping MVPs and NBA championships. He's obviously trying to get back to another one. I don't know that the Nuggets have it all this year to win it again, but he certainly got it to win another MVP. I wouldn't like him to walk away because he's fun to watch, but it would not surprise me if he walks away much earlier than people anticipate a basketball player would, not to like LeBron James yesterday dropping 31 and 10, and he's about to be 39 years old.
Let's listen to Mikal Bridges going off. He had 41 in the game. Here's a dagger to put the Knicks up by 5 on ESPN.
Bridges wants it. 8 to shoot. Bridges veering, fading. 41 for Mikal Bridges.
How about Tibbs? Here he is talking about how Bridges is coming into his own with the Knicks.
Sometimes, like that, the saying about slow and steady wins the race. And that's what he's been. And that's, you look at his whole career.
Sounds like he's on a cruise ship.
He just keeps getting better and better and better. And what is he got? It's hard to put him in a box because he does everything. He can run the floor in transition. He moves extremely well without the ball. He knows how to create advantages. You can put him in pick and roll. He's smart. You can execute with him. There's so many intangibles that he brings to the team And I think his teammates are getting used to him. He's getting used to his teammates. And so it's creating big advantages for us.
You know, when he first came to the Knicks, people said they made a mistake in making this move and giving up all that they gave up to get him. And now, you know, let's face facts, 6 weeks later, he's really become a go-to guy. It's basically him and Brunson and Cat Towns are running the whole team. I won't deny Anunoby's good, and I love Josh Hart. He's a dog, but Bridges has become a stud.
No doubt about it. Correction on me, by the way. LeBron about to be 40. He's already 39. But as far as this game is concerned, I'm with you that I think it's the nature of where we are as sports fans that we want everybody to be successful right away. And he's already played with these players, so why doesn't he just step right in? And the Knicks are a well-oiled machine. It took some time, but now the Knicks are chasing down the Celtics to be the number 2 seed and potentially the Cavs to be the number 1 seed in the conference. They are at times an excellent defensive basketball team. And Anunoby, who you mentioned, is a big part of that. Now, he goes 3 of 10 yesterday. Brunson 0 for 5 from 3. But the Knicks now have scoring options that they didn't have a couple of years ago. It's the reason that they knew they needed to move on from Julius Randle and change the makeup of this team, because now they have another gear on offense. It was the problem they ran into a couple of postseasons ago where they were out of offensive options. If it wasn't Brunson and it wasn't Randall, who was going to score? Last year, DiVincenzo became a part of it, but now they have Bridges and Anunoby and Brunson and Cat Towns, 4 guys that can score. And when it gets to the playoffs, which is a long way from now, the Knicks are going to be able to take it to another gear, which they couldn't in the previous few seasons.
No doubt about it. Let's talk about the T-Wolves. They won by 6 in Dallas. Edwards had 26. 8 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, and a block. Randall had 23 and 10. Kyrie had 39. He went off. Here's Ann Edwards taking it to the rack to close it out on ESPN.
P.J. Washington drives it left, elevates, got it to fall. Ant-Man on the J.O.B.
Here's Ant talking about being Santa Claus and having unlimited supplies of Sprite.
It's all about having patience. You know what I mean? Because like I was watching Dante interview, like it's a different team, so we got to have patience to be able to get it together. Like sometimes it looks good, sometimes it looks bad, and we're still trying to figure it out. So I think patience is what's going to, take us over the top, being able to wait, figure it out, and once we figure it out, we'll be all right.
I don't wish injuries on anyone except Luka. Here he is. He left the game, of course, in the second quarter with a calf issue, and he's going to miss some time. They're saying extended period of time. It's the same calf he's had problems with before. While he was arguing with the refs for 48 minutes a night, every single night of his life, his calf has caught up with him based on the way he treats referees. Even when he gets the N1 call, he's still complaining at the free throw line, and he had it coming. Kyrie Irving talks about the prospect of playing without the whiny crybaby bitch.
I don't know right now, man. It's just so fresh. My emotions are still running high from losing this game. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. So I'll think about it in the next few hours. I'm just excited to go home and see my family and hug them. I'm praying for Luka just to have a speedy recovery. However long the timetable is, we're gonna have to adjust. It's just the nature of the business, but hopefully he just takes his time and he comes back when he's ready. It's just a crazy play, on a holiday like this, man. But yeah, we just got to be mature about it and everybody be ready to adjust for the lineups. And it's although we are 6-2, that number doesn't really matter to me. I'd rather be going to war, to battle with a healthy team. Everybody feeling well, everybody feeling good. But again, it's the nature of the business. Just got to adjust and be ready.
All right, so Klay Thompson, listen to this. Last night passed Reggie Miller for 5th all-time in made threes. Think about that for a second, Mike. Honestly, your boy Klay passing Reggie.
Pretty incredible. Obviously, his ability to hit threes at a staggering rate. I wonder what it would look like if Reggie and Bird were playing with a three-point line and shooting that many threes. But Klay, obviously, an unbelievable, all-time unbelievable shooter.
Yeah, there you go. All right, when we come back, we'll talk about the Philly game and the Laker game and the Suns game. Got it all.
As the candles flicker, a new tradition shines. 8 nights of Hanukkah, 8 nights of winning insights.
Like, they may come out slow, so you might be able to get a better number.
Wow, they're favored.
With SportsGrid, every night is another chance to win.
No pick sixes today, they cover. So let's crunch it up. Let's make it happen. Let's give you our favorite props.
Let your Hanukkah winnings brighten your celebrations. Happy Hanukkah from all of us at SportsGrid.
Two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
Ka-ching!
Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What? How do you do this once? Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Right here with you on Pro Football Today on SportsGrid. Odds in motion, trying to see what lines have moved throughout the week.
Never felt more comfortable in this set than I do for this year. I'm ready. I'm just getting angry. The hot takes are going to be here all long.
You don't want them to go 13-0 and then lose the first round of the playoffs.
Red.
This is their last shot. They don't really have anywhere else to go yet.
Hot take.
By the time I hit, I guess what, Route 33 up here, that ticket's cashing.
Only on SportsGrid. In the heart of winter, when nights grow long, we come together under these lights. A team, united by purpose. Fans bound by passion. Each holding a small flicker of hope in their hands. At SportsGrid, we believe that even the darkest nights can't dim the unity we share. One team, one stadium, one shining moment. This holiday season, we shine brighter together. Happy Hanukkah from all of us at SportsGrid.
I got to tell you, Mike, there's two teams I can't stand. It's Philly and Boston. I hate both of them. And I watched the end of the game, fair enough. But I hate both of these teams so much. I didn't watch the majority of it. I'm not going to watch, two teams that I despise playing on Christmas. It does nothing for me. Now, I know the Sixers won. I watched the end of it. Maxey, I thought, as usual, was great. I've always said he's a great player. He's the best player on the team. And I know people think I'm crazy, but he's better than Embiid, too, because Embiid never plays, or he's injured, or he's complaining, or he's turning on the media, the fans. I'm sick and tired of Joel Embiid. I got to be honest with you. I just think he fleeced them. That $192 million, they'll rue the day they gave him that money. He walks up the court. Meanwhile, this guy Maxey is just lightning. He's up and down the floor, north-south, to the 10, does it all, 33, 12 dimes, 3 steals, 4 rebounds, and a block. It's crazy, right? Embiid 27-9, Tatum had 32. The Sixers were up 8.5. Then Brown got all involved in the game and started going off. It didn't matter. Caleb Martin drains a 3 to cap off the Sixers' 18-0 run in the fourth and finish off the Celtics on ESPN.
22-7. Cleveland has the best record at 26-4. Martin again. 6 threes for Caleb Martin. Timeout, Boston.
I think they call
and the Grinch
Undertaker.
no longer celebrating.
Yeah, they call him the Undertaker. Here's Maxey talking about Phillies coming together.
A lot different, a lot different. But I said back then, like, just give us some time. It was difficult because guys are in and out. We finally thought that we were gonna have everybody playing. I got hurt. That sucks. You know what I mean? Like I had a little rhythm going a little bit, and then I get hurt, and then we got to restart. Figure it all out. I come back. Joe gets hurt. We got to figure it all out again. I think the biggest thing that we've really done is we come together a lot more. I feel like we had a lot of new guys. I don't know how many new people we have, like 7 or something like that. And it's difficult. It's difficult. You don't know how you want to play. You don't know what combinations go with each other. I think we're finally figuring that out. And that's a kudos to our coaching staff and nurse as well.
There's no doubt, Mike, they look better than they have since the start of the season. And frankly, for my money, he's the reason why.
Agreed. And he missed a few games too, right? He missed 6 games so far on their calendar. I'm with you. I think the Philly nationally is going to be unpopular. There's a couple of players on their team that have been historically or have become punching bags for media pundits like yourself, but really a lot of fans that are irritated with Embiid complaining all the time, being mad at his own fan base, some of which, to be fair to him, is justified. People take unusual shots, personal shots at him, but he doesn't play. And to your point, he garnered a huge contract, negotiated for a huge contract, and then is hurt all the time, declares, I'm not going to play the second night of back-to-backs. People don't really want to hear that, especially as contracts skyrocket. But to your point about Maxey, he's fantastic. Harry Carey square frames included. I think it's a great look. Paul George last night from 3, 0 for 7. So it's not just Joel Embiid that is not filling it. It is Paul George not really contributing much. I think he's got one of the, if not the worst plus minus in the league. And Caleb Martin bailed him out, 8 for 11 from the floor, 7 of 9 from 3. Of all the teams, Scott, with bad records in the NBA, Philly is the one that you can look at and be like, all right, it's been a bad start. There's still so much basketball left this season. They could be a team that really does turn it around, becomes a threat in the playoffs, although not a threat to me to win an NBA championship.
Here's the Austin Reeves winner for the Lakers at the Chase in the city.
To go. Reeves on the drive. Inside layup. He banks it in with 1 second remaining. No timeouts. Here comes Curry. Launches at three-quarters court. Oh, off the mark.
It was off the mark. Here's the Hillbilly Mamba talking about the game winner.
To start off, the play was not for me. We were trying to get the ball, trying to get Braun the ball at the top of the key, but both of, Draymond took him away. I think Wiggins jumped it a little bit too, and then when I caught it, 5 seconds is a long time when it comes to basketball. And the last thing you want to do is go too early. Something happened, miss, go out of bounds, and then you give Steph an opportunity to chuck one from 85 feet, and that'd be a horrible way to lose. So really just, wanted to get the last shot and wanted to get a good look.
Peanut Brittle rolled his ankle in the game and never came back. That's AD if you don't watch the show often, but you will starting now after you've seen this already today. Steph Curry recently talked to some chick about the end of his career and that it's near, and it's okay to acknowledge that. I refuse to acknowledge who she is because I can't stand that show. It's awful. I just wanted to say that. I can't watch it. Every day when I'm sitting here doing Coast to Coast, which kicks its ass, by the way, I look over to my left and I always say, man, do I hate this effing show and this chick. So I'm not really easy to please when I'm watching garbage. I just won't do it. I'll do anything, literally. I'll do it. I'll cut my fingers off before I watch it. And I really don't care about people projecting the end of their career. I do not believe he's anywhere near done. I don't believe he's anywhere near done. I really don't. And let me say this. We got a lot more to talk about when it comes to the NBA. We're going to do the Suns game. But do you believe he's done anytime soon? How many more years do you think Curry's playing? He's not quitting this year. No way.
What's interesting about the state of basketball now and the way he fits within it, and a lot of people credit him for the changes, negative or positive, to the way the NBA is played now. Scott, he could play much longer because he's such a ridiculous shot maker. He can spot up and be a shooter until he's 40 years old if he wants to. Now, he's made so much money that maybe he decides, I've had enough fun with this all, but he could play, frankly, later than LeBron is a really unique guy, obviously, but he could play as late as LeBron is because he can just sit there and shoot for 15 minutes a game if he wanted.
Well, can you even believe that he said the end is near? Why would you say that when you still have that kind of game?
It's a fair question. Maybe he's thinking that he's kind of done with the whole dance.
Maybe he's tripping.
As the candles flicker, a new tradition shines. 8 nights of Hanukkah, 8 nights of winning insights.
Right, they may come out slow, so you might be able to get a better number.
Wow, they're favored.
With SportsGrid, every night is another chance to win.
No pick sixes today, they cover. So let's crunch it up. Let's make it happen. Let's give you our favorite props.
Let your Hanukkah winnings brighten your celebrations. Happy Hanukkah from all of us at SportsGrid.
Two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take. Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What? How do you do this once? Oh, Donnie, you've got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Right here with you on Pro Football Today on SportsGrid. Odds in motion, trying to see what lines have moved throughout the week.
Never felt more comfortable in this set than I do for this year. I'm ready. I'm just getting angry. The hot takes are going to be here all long, people.
You don't want them to go 13-0 and then lose the first round of the playoffs.
Red.
Yeah, this is their last shot. They don't really have anywhere else to go yet.
Hot take.
By the time I hit, I guess what, Route 33 up here, that ticket's cashing.
Only on SportsGrid. In the heart of winter, when nights grow long, we come together under these lights. A team, united by purpose. Fans, bound by passion. Each holding a small flicker of hope in their hands. At SportsGrid, we believe that even the darkest nights can't dim the unity we share. One team, one stadium, one shining moment. This holiday season, we shine brighter together. Happy Hanukkah from all of us at SportsGrid.
All right, so anyway, we're just talking, Mike and I, about Dylan Harper and Cooper Flagg. And when I saw Dylan bring the ball up the court at the end of that game like a week ago and pull up from 40 and hit that dagger to win that game for Rutgers, that's the guy I know. So I used to watch this kid in the morning at 5 a.m. shoot 100 threes in a row with his trainers in the same gym I ball at. So I play in this really small gym in the mornings with a guy that owns the gym. And the guy that owns the gym lets Dylan train there. And there's a lot of great players that play there. All D1 NBA retired guys. They're all fantastic. I'm the worst player there. But they all know I can play. You know, I suck, but I'm pretty good for someone that sucks. And especially at my age. But I used to watch this kid. I literally saw him one morning hit 100 out of 100 threes. In a row, 100 out of 100. And I was sitting there going like, what is happening here? And then I saw him doing it every day for months and months, shooting, like working on his game. And then he went to Rutgers, and he's just knocking down game winners from 40 feet. When he shot that ball that day, I went, it's going in. When I saw it fly out of his hand, I go, that ball is going in. And it went in. I think he's ready for the NBA now, tomorrow. And I do not believe, you can quote me on this, Cooper Flagg is ready today. I think at the end of the year when Duke's in the Final Four, he'll be ready to go in the NBA draft, and he'll be a badass in the NBA. I think Dylan Harper already will be a badass in the NBA. And people say Ace Bailey as well. Listen, all I've watched with Rutgers basketball for my money is Dylan Harper. Now, I think Ace Bailey's really good, but Dylan Harper is the real deal. And his brother is not as good as him. And I think he's better than his dad, too. This kid is special. Trust me when I tell you. And I know his dad. I know his brother. I played against his brother and his wide ass. Like, his brother could, low block me to death. But the kid's better than his brother. He's more athletic. That's just all there is to it. His brother's fat. I mean, let's just face facts. He's fat. And he's still a good player, but he's not great. And Cooper Flagg, I think, has been really good at Duke so far. And Dylan Harper's been better. Anyway, Suns beat the Nuggets by 10 at the Footprint in the Desert. Durant and Beal had 27 each. You've been hearing they were dangling Mike Beal for Butler. That's not happening, allegedly. Here's Beal getting the steal and the finish at the other end on ESPN.
Kick out, deflected, stolen by Bradley Beal. Mano a mano, Beal, the lay-in.
And here's the Slim Reaper speaking for the Grinch on Christmas Day.
You're playing in your 12th Christmas game, 11th time in your career where you've had 20 or more points on Christmas night as well. How lucky do you feel, as well as how lucky as fans we get to win? It's not just you, but Steph and LeBron putting up 30-point games on Christmas night at this point in your career.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many great talents in this league. I mean, not just us three. You see Jokic tonight. You see a Hall of Famer, an icon, and Russell out here tonight. You see so many great young players around the league today. It was an amazing day for basketball. I'm grateful I was able to play on this great day and entertain the fans and get a win at home. So I'm grateful.
So the Suns, Mike, allegedly looking to trade Nurkic for another big man, possibly Vus or Valanciunas. I suppose I could believe they want to get rid of Nurkic. He's okay, but I don't believe, frankly, Valanciunas is any better than Nurkic. I think Vus is. And I also don't buy that the Suns are getting Jimmy Butler. And I also am not sure I buy Pat Riley saying we're not trading him. I've heard that before. We're not trading Jimmy Butler. We've heard that before. With how many coaches have said they're not trading people and then they trade them?
Yeah, it just means that they haven't gotten an offer yet that they're willing to take. It doesn't mean that they're not trading him. Absolutely. They just need a better offer. My question on the Suns, though, Scotty, is, all right, so what if you make these moves? Do you really challenge for a championship? The NBA has been interesting in the last few years in that going into the playoffs, we think a lot of teams have a shot. But if the Suns make these moves, they move Beal and they move Nurkic and bring in somebody else, does that really make them a title contender in the West?
No.
I don't think so. What's the point?
I don't think they are now.
Yeah,
and
I
don't
agree.
think they would be then.
Totally agree. I just think that these are moves for the sake of making moves. And when teams get into that kind of mode, their fans are going to be perpetually frustrated. They want to do something because Durant is there and he's still a great player, but I don't think it means anything for them long term.
We'll come back and talk to our friend Kurt Heelan from NBC Sports.
You're not riding with Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Where have you gone? Don't tell me it's your Philadelphia Eagles, Donnie. Who's the team for you?
You see that Vince Lombardi trophy that sits back here? That's a replica. And that's something that the Philadelphia Eagles have won as recent as 2017. The Buffalo Bills are notorious for making it to the Super Bowl and coming up lame, which they might be able to do. But my question is, can the Buffalo Bills even get to the Super Bowl?
The early line. Only on SportsGrid.
How do you find some of this great talent that you've brought in, who are still early in their career, might not have a ton of tape on them yet?
I've been around this business, man, for almost 20 years. So a lot of these guys will tell you that I popped into a lot of gyms, sparred or just worked on the side or, kind of worked out, just watching. I've always loved this sport, man. I think it's the greatest. And we want to continue to put on the next up-and-coming superstars. We know we got them.
Only on SportsGrid.
Right here with you on Pro Football Today on SportsGrid. Odds in motion, trying to see what lines have moved throughout the week.
Never felt more comfortable in this set than I do for this year. I'm ready. I'm just getting angry. The hot takes are going to be here all long.
You don't want them to go 13-0 and then lose the first round of the playoffs.
Red.
Yeah, this is their last shot. They don't really have anywhere else to go yet.
Hot take.
By the time I hit, I guess what, Route 33 up here, that ticket's cashing.
Only on SportsGrid. The holidays come with a touch of craziness, from unwrapping the latest storylines to the best betting insights. We've got everything you need to crank up the excitement this season. We can't promise there won't be a little yelling.
Play a decent schedule. They have maybe 500.
They just ruined my day.
But we can guarantee a whole lot of fun. Merry Christmas from all of us at SportsGrid.